Like if I call you a cotton picker.
Do you have HIV and AIDS?
No, I treat it.
But do you have it?
Yes.
So you got somebody coming over. You had somebody come over last night? And you were actually bisexual or gay?
I'm very much open to anybody. I don't like to restrict myself to any box or category or anything like that. It's so restricted.
Hold on. This is going to be one of the most educational, informative videos that you're ever going to see. Now, if you do not know, South Africa is currently the HIV capital of the world. HIV and AIDS is so powerful in South Africa, it's dominating the whole particular region, and the historical reason behind it, we're going to get into that as well. But this is a guy that I met that's actually from South Africa. I had a conversation with him 2 times on live. This is the final time we had the conversation. He had a couple samosas and he was listening and watching Netflix, and he opened up a couple of different things on the culture of people from South Africa. If you do not know, my name's AdonisCrashBoom, and you guys are watching Adonis Live. And if you haven't liked this video yet, give this video a like, because this one, if you're traveling abroad, if you're from Africa, is gonna make you feel quite uncomfortable. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into this video here. We're gonna start it off right here.
Do you have HIV and AIDS?
No, I treat it.
But do you have it?
Yes. And even if I did, is that a reason to stigmatize someone? Is that something to pick on?
Where's the stigmatization? I've asked you a question. Why are you jumping to conclusions?
Okay. I'm telling you, I treat this condition daily basis.
So do you know that South Africa at this moment in time has the highest rate of HIV and AIDS in the world right now?
Actually, that is a misinterpreted statistic. We have the highest prevalence because individuals living with HIV are living longer. Do you know the difference between prevalence and incidence?
Yes.
What is it? What is the difference between prevalence and incidence?
People who are dying from HIV and AIDS and people who are staying alive longer for HIV and AIDS.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's not correct. You're checking the difference between incidence and prevalence.
No, I'm actually checking the actual article that proves that South Africa has the highest HIV AIDS in the world.
Yeah, highest what? Highest incidence or highest prevalence?
You have an opportunity to talk.
I asked you a question. Do you know the difference between incidence and prevalence?
Like insolence?
Incidence and
incidence.
prevalence.
Incidents, like incidents. Like moments where people peak and show that they have HIV and AIDS, and in moments where they don't.
No, you don't understand. This is a basic, baby. It teaches in high school the difference between incidence and prevalence.
Hold on. He said something very interesting right there. They teach them in high school the difference between prevalence and incidence when it pertains to HIV and AIDS. Now, I'm not saying it's every single high school, but in his high school in South Africa, they teach that. I didn't know that. They don't teach that in American high school, or nor do they have the discussion of HIV and AIDS when it comes down to high school students. But in their case, this is what's going on. Let's continue on this conversation, and here is how it goes.
Incidence rate, prevalence rate. You're still reading. It's okay. I understand your people.
No, I'm waiting for you to actually explain your point, because you're saying these words, but you're not breaking down the definition of them.
Okay, because you're saying that South Africa has the highest HIV and AIDS in the world. I'm asking if you are referring to incidence or prevalence.
What are the difference between incidence and prevalence?
I'm asking you.
No, you're the
If you
doctor.
don't know, you can say I don't know.
I've already said
As
that.
a medical professional, I'll explain it
I've
to you.
already gave you my perspective on it. Now you have to give yours.
This is not a matter of opinion. This is a factual thing. It's definitions. Because before, when the other guy was on the live, you were harping about.
It's not going to allow you to talk over me. So understand, you're not in a position of power here. I am. Do you know or not? Are you going to explain it or not?
Okay, I'll explain it.
Okay.
Incidence refers to, at a given moment in time, how many people are infected with a certain condition. Prevalence is if you look at across time. So one is a cross section in time, one is across time. Do you understand that? So let's say we have a timeline right between 1990 and 2020. If I refer to incidence, I'll say in 2019, how many people were infected with HIV? If I'm looking at prevalence, from 1990 up until now, how many people are living with HIV? Does that make sense? I can't make it any simpler.
Sure. Here's some information. South Africa has the highest number of people living with HIV in the world. Here's what
Yes.
that means. As of recent data, South Africa has over 17.5 million people living with HIV, more than any other country.
Right. And the reason for that is individuals living with HIV are living longer because of the treatment.
No, that is not the reason. The reason for
It
that
is.
is during the early 2000s, South African government was criticized for denying the science of HIV and delaying treatment rollout under
We are in 2025. I will acknowledge that. Our previous administration messed up. When it came to HIV, AIDS was, they said that HIV did not cause AIDS and that you could treat it with herbal stuff. That was the previous administration. That was too early 2000s. We are in 2025.
and as of
Latest
2000s,
evidence
hold on,
came
hold on,
out
hold
now,
on, hold
and
on. Good
everything
news.
changed.
Hold on. Good news is South Africa also has the largest HIV treatment program in the world. Millions of people are now on antiretroviral therapy.
Just say ARVs. It's easier for you to pronounce. Just say ARVs.
No, it's not about easier for you to pronounce. It's about learning. I'm an informative content creator. So it's not about me. It's about everybody else that's learning while having these conversations. So if I sit down and see a new word that I don't consistently use on my everyday vernacular, then I can add it to my
Sorry. We
vocabulary.
use antiretrovirals, the terms every day. So
No,
I didn't
you
know. I
don't.
didn't know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
yeah,
didn't
I
know that you
understand. I
didn't know.
understand. It's cool. Calm down. I don't use these words on a consistent daily basis. So when I have the opportunity to add it to my vocabulary, I do.
Okay.
Antiretroviral therapy, ART, which allows them to live long, healthy lives and reduce the risk of transmission.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. So when you say that we have the highest HIV, you're making a very inflammatory statement.
It's not
But there's
deflammatory.
the evidence there.
That is the
There's what
evidence.
the statistic means.
But that doesn't
People
matter.
with
Regardless.
HIV are living longer.
It doesn't matter. Regardless of that, it definitely it is relevant and it is not derogatory in any type of capacity. You guys have the highest HIV and AIDS rate in the world.
Again, the reason for that is
Regardless
people
of the
with
reason.
HIV are living longer
It
because
doesn't
of the advances in the treatment.
Who cares about living longer? You still have HIV and AIDS.
I'm not sure how to respond to that question because, as a medical professional, my job is to make people live longer.
I respect that. I respect that. Maybe that wasn't the right way of putting that. You living longer doesn't disclaim the fact that you guys have the highest HIV and AIDS
I'm
rates.
not arguing that we have a high rate of HIV and AIDS. I'm saying that when you make a statement, you must be able to back it up. You see, I'm not reading from anything. This is just knowledge.
No, I understand that, but you asked me questions, so I don't talk about this on a consistent daily basis. The only reason we brought this topic up is because you said that you was a doctor, and I think that you was a more credible source to ask these particular conversations. I'm not a doctor. I'm just seeing stuff on social media and television and newspapers. So I said, well, you're in South Africa correctly right now, right?
Yes.
You are in Johannesburg?
I'm
Johannesburg?
in Port Elizabeth. Do you know Klebecha?
No, I don't know. I'm
Can
not
you say Klebecha?
Canberra?
Try one time. Klebecha.
Nah, I can't do that. No, sorry. It's
You
not.
can't do it.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right. Don't worry.
You can say Port Elizabeth. You can say Eastern Cape. You can say, yeah,
Can you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Now, can you say that backwards?
Can you say it backwards?
Yes. Fragilisticacalisticexpialidocious.
You win, brother. You win. You are smarter than me.
Oh man. All right, cool. All right,
Now,
so
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Can I
sure.
ask a question?
Yeah.
When people from my country, when black people, African people from my country are saying to you that a practice in your country is offensive, what does that mean to you?
What practice in my country?
This whole saga was started by this New Orleans Zulu parade.
And what country is New Orleans in?
North America? No.
Wow. North
United
America.
States of America. Sorry, our geography wasn't my strong suit.
Wow. And what's
United States of America.
all right? And what state is it in?
Ish. Louisiana. I don't know.
You don't know. Do you know how many states are in America?
52.
52. Do you know how many countries are in Africa?
I should know. I should know. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I don't know. There's a lot.
You
South
don't.
Africa is one of them.
You don't know how many countries are in Africa.
I told you geography is not my strong suit. But you didn't answer my question. When
I
people from
am
my
answering.
country are
I'll answer your
saying to you
question.
that it's offensive,
I'll answer your question.
what does that mean?
In America, there are 50 states. Each state will be
Okay.
considered its own country. That's the definition of a state. You know, a border place controlled by its own particular
Are
government.
you sure? Are you sure? Because then why don't they say there's 52 countries in America then?
No
They say
one,
the 52
no,
states.
no one says there's 52 states in America.
So there's 52 countries in America.
There's no 52, there's only 50.
50 countries, 50 states.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the definition of state for you, okay? You learn something. A nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one government, like Germany, Italy, and other European states. That's the definition of a state. So now I'm gonna break it down to you. A a nation or territory. Louisiana is a nation and a territory, which was purchased by America, by France, because it was originally its own country. Community under one government. Every state in the United States of America has its own government. They have
Oh
their-
yes, you all got like different laws.
Yes.
Each state. That's why your people go from state to state for abortions, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that could be one reason. Yes.
Because it's illegal in one state, then they have to go across the lines to go and get an abortion.
Yes, there's different rules in every state, just like there's different rules in every country you go to. Yes, they're all different countries.
Like in my country, termination of pregnancy, we don't say abortion because that's a very outdated term. We say termination of pregnancy is women's health. It's one in the same. We don't differentiate it.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example, like how, like y'all have like these very very oppressive rules in different states
No,
that
it's
your
not
women have
oppressive.
to
It's not
trek
oppressive.
across the state lines to go and get health care.
It's not oppressive rules. In every country, you have different rules for childbirth. So depending on when you like, I don't know about in your
No, I'm
country.
not talking about childbirth.
You're not
I'm talking
listening.
about
You're not listening.
termination of pregnancy.
Yes, but those come with consequences in different states. Like the right to have a child is not solely for one particular gender. So, for
Okay.
example, if a guy walks up to you, or not you, sorry, if a guy walks up to a girl and he has sex with the girl, and the girl says, "I don't want to have the kid," the guy cannot say, "You're going to have that kid." But in some states, the girl can say, "I'm going to have the kid regardless," and then it is what it is. And then after that, there's a lot of financial backing that benefits that gender. So the system is not oppressive; it's messed up at this moment in time, and everyone's noticing it, and we're trying to fix it.
So if it's not oppressive, then why not just make that kind of healthcare available to all women?
It's not about healthcare at this moment in time. It's about human rights. It's not just about
Yes,
health.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. And one
but
of
this,
our
hold
fundamental
on, hold
human
on.
rights, you see, in our
Hold on,
constitution.
hold on, hold on. There's a different, like in Africa, and particularly in South Africa, a lot of guys have children out of wedlock, and then the mothers will be having these babies, and then the fathers would just disappear. Well, in America, you can't just do that. If you have a child,
Really?
yes, in America, you can't do that. If you have a child with somebody, you are legally obligated to benefit that family and that child. That's the difference between ours. But the problem is, a lot of people, not all people, use that to their benefit. So there's a problem with our system. It's called child support. We have that in our country. There's a
We also
problem.
got that. We got Sasa.
Yeah, but it's different. It's a different situation.
Sasa, you know Sasa.
The only salsa I know is with the Spanish people, merengue and bachata.
Sasa card. Like how y'all got EBT card.
No, that's not the same thing. Child support is
Oh,
not EBT card. No.
okay.
EBT card is to help you get food for people who have low income houses. So when you or your immigrants migrate into America, you don't have any resources. Yeah, they give you the opportunity to say, you know what, we're gonna assist you with having food and
No,
healthcare.
I had the opportunity to work in the US. I said no.
And I'm not. That's your prerogative. How much money do you make?
Ooh, I mean, you saw my view.
So what?
How
It's
much would a view like that cost in your country?
cheap as hell.
Really? Let's
Yeah.
see your view. Let's see your view.
Oh, I'm in. Okay. Well, sure.
Let's see what's outside your window.
Sure.
Oh, look like Joburg CBD.
CBD. What's CBD?
Central Business District.
Oh yeah, because I'm in Europe right now. I'm in Romania.
Oh, you're not even at your own house. Oh, okay. This is my house.
No, this is my house. I'm renting it. I have several places that I rent. I have
Oh,
an apartment
renting.
here. I have an apartment in London. Yeah,
Renting.
yeah,
Okay, you know what? One day you can own property. It's fine.
yeah. I know it's not a big deal in to own
You don't
property.
have to always rent. You know that.
Well, wait, hold on. Owning property is not a beneficial thing if you're trying to get a return of your investment. So you have your own
Okay.
house. Are you making money off of that house?
My passion is healthcare. It's not money.
Deviation and deflection is incredible. Are you making money
No,
off of that house?
I'm just saying, like I followed my passion in life was to help people, treat people
All right,
in
so
my
why are you
country.
trying
That's
to?
why I didn't want to come to your country
So,
and work.
all right, so why are you trying to do microaggression and undertones, acting like you can't, you afford property in the future when I'm following my passion and my dreams?
Okay, I struck a nerve. I think we must change the topic.
No, we're not going to change the topic. You just can't respond to my critical thinking procedure, but it's okay. I understand your logic is not sound, and you haven't struck in any nerve. I'm pretty calm. I can handle you. No, whoa. Let me slow down. Let me not say that. I got this. Don't run now. So, what your profession is to be a doctor? How much money do you
Mm.
make being a doctor?
You know what? That is a very crass question to ask somebody.
All
You
right.
got Google there. You can see what is a medical officer salary in South Africa. You can.
I know, but
It's not.
I'm speaking to a
Hmm?
medical officer right now. How much money are you making? How much is your apartment cost?
I live quite comfortably. I don't like to discuss things like that on this kind of platform.
Why you can't educate us on your wealth status?
No, but you know, you. I'm sure you are aware, like how much health professional
Okay,
need.
let me stop. I know I struck a nerve, so let me calm down. We could change the subject, okay? All right,
Please,
no problem.
please.
Have you ever heard
Thank
of
you.
minoxidil?
Yes, yes.
Do you use it or do you know of
I
any?
tried it and it gave me acne.
Okay, so how old are you?
33. I'm
Nice.
turning 33 this year. I was born in 92.
Nice. Congrats. So you was around during apartheid, or was you not born in South Africa?
I mean, I was a baby.
So do you know the history on the apartheid?
Yeah, we learned it in school. We learn about it in school.
Did you visit the all white city in South Africa?
No.
No, have you heard of it?
Yes.
Will you be allowed to go there?
No, not no.
Why wouldn't you be allowed to go there?
Well, it's a, I think they've declared themselves like a sovereign state or something. They choose who can enter and who can
Would
come
you
into that
would they
area.
consider you colored?
No, 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 no. I'm considered Indian.
So you're Indian.
My race group is Indian, but my nationality is South African.
So they still have segregation in South Africa based off that city, basically.
No, no, no. That is a very, very, very small, minuscule community that is still
So
holding on to the remnants of apartheid.
some people did the math and they said that you as a social health worker, doctor, you make about $3,400 a year.
I don't know what that conversion is. I really don't know. You'll have to tell me in rands.
What's $3,400 in rand? Someone in the chat, can you please, what is it, like 30,000 or I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
let me see. Let me see. Can you give me an estimate of how much money you make a year in rand?
Why don't you tell me your net income and I'll tell you where mine matches up?
Oh, sure. Which net income would you like me to tell you about?
I don't know because now we went back to this very uncomfortable topic that I don't like to talk about.
You make 500,000 rand,
You, per annum,
like 600,000,
between 5 and 600.
500 to 524,000 rand.
I don't know the exact amount.
Okay, let's see. What's 525,000 rand in dollars?
Why are we talking about this?
So you make about $25,000 a year. Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
guess if that's the I mean, are we? I mean, your currency is very strong. You are a first world country, and we are actually sorry. Those are not. Those are outdated terms. Also, first world, second world, third world. Now there's developed nations and developing nations. We are a developing nation. Our currency is not as strong as yours. This is
The
not news.
reason, the reason why we're talking about the financial economic state at this particular moment in time is because when I've showed you some of my skincare products, you said I shoplifted them. So now, based
I
on the
was joking, man. I was only joking. I know you never steal it. I was only joking. You know, South Africans, our humor is very, very, very different.
no, we just allow you guys to behave like peasants, and I don't consider your jokes jokes. So this is
Sorry. That was rude of me. I shouldn't have
no,
said
no,
that.
it's okay because I understand now. If you're making an income of $25,000 a year or $20,000 a year in South Africa, you probably think you are having a life of living, and these type of expensive things that cost over $300 to $400, you would only have to shoplift to get them. I completely
You
understand.
see, my fulfillment in my life comes, the monetary thing is secondary. I get to serve my people every day.
You're not serving your people. You're serving South Africans. You are classified as an Indian. So if you want to serve Indians,
No, no. I am South African. You must not get that mixed up.
are you Zulu?
No,
When did your parents move to South Africa?
my parents were born here.
So you're South African. So hold on. Your parents were born in South Africa during apartheid?
Yes, yeah.
When did your grandparents move here?
My grandparents were also born here.
So you're South African.
Yes,
So are your grandparents both Indian?
yes,
Is your mother and father both Indian?
yes. But they're born here, so they're South
So
African,
what are the
but Indian.
odds? What are the odds of Indians finding Indians in South Africa? How many Indians are in South Africa?
We have the largest population of Indians outside of India.
In South Africa.
Yes,
So you're an Indian South African.
yes. Finally, you got it.
Are you happy?
I am very happy. I love my country. I love my work that I do. I love serving people.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah,
How do the people of South Africa interact with you knowing that you're homosexual?
it doesn't come up like in my work life. It doesn't. It's not relevant. So I guess very well.
What about in the Indian community then?
There are certain like communities within the Indian community that are very, very close-minded, backward thinking. But then there's also very progressive Indians. So
Is there like a community, like places where you guys party and have fun and meet each other?
Indian people,
Yeah,
like
like what?
Chatsworth,
How do you meet people, like your people? How do you meet like
Indians. We go
no?
to
Like,
Chatsworth, we go to Phoenix,
how do you meet your
Durban,
partners? How do you meet your partners?
Lenasia.
How do you meet your
You
partners?
can go anywhere and find Indians.
No, no, no. How do you meet your partner, like in the LGBTQ community in South Africa? Because from what I've heard, based off the reason I'm asking is because I've interacted with a South African earlier, and every South African is on some, nah, we don't do this, and it was very interesting for me to interact with you, and you were actually bisexual or gay.
I'm very much open to anybody. I don't like to restrict myself to any box or category or anything like that. It's so restrictive.
So how do you find your partner in a place like
Have
South
I
Africa?
mean, like, have you seen me? It's not hard.
It's not. So you be finding a whole bunch of South African guys that be coming for you.
I don't have an issue in that department. Men, women, transgender, what have you. That is not an issue for me.
How does that, like, me personally, I'll be very uncomfortable being interactive with people knowing that South Africa has the highest HIV and AIDS rate. Like, how do you feel about that? What do you have like pills that you take to make sure you don't get it, or you just use condoms? What is the procedure that you will take?
Do
Knowing
you
that,
think that you are protected from contracting HIV because you live in America?
no, I think that I don't have the higher rate to contract HIV and AIDS because I'm
That
not.
wasn't my question.
No, I
Do
said I
you
answered the
think
question.
that you are protected against contracting HIV because you live in America?
And I said, no, I think that because I'm not in a high rate environment where HIV and AIDS are on a high growth sport, I'm a much lower risk. You are in the
So you
country.
don't practice safe sex.
I do, and I don't have many partners. You said you don't have any
That's so
problems.
sad.
Listen,
That is sad for you.
okay,
And now I can understand why you are so angry
I'm angry.
because you are frustrated sexually.
I'm frustrated sexually.
It sounds like it. You just said you don't have many partners.
Yeah,
And I feel sad for you.
oh, you're so sweet. No, I'm not
Thank
a, I don't,
you.
listen, for me, like, I'm a different type of guy. Like, I don't think every girl deserves this type of guy. So I'm not just sleeping around. You said you would anything, transsexual, gay, bi. You just a piece of ass that you just throw
Do you
around.
know what's a give it? Do you know? Have you ever heard of a give it?
Listen, I don't know, but you got to pay attention. You're rambling on. I
Okay.
understand that you like to, like, just throw your ass around and shit like
I
that.
am a give it. I am a give it.
You're a give it, so you're not throwing your ass, you're taking other people's asses.
You know what? Let me just say
Hey,
again,
hold
this
on. Is
is
that is
not a
that
problem
because
for
hold
me.
on, hold on. Like, is that what that mean? Like you're not throwing your ass, you're taking other
No, you
people's
know
ass?
how you are very conservative and you're very pious, you're very reserved, and you don't like to, how you say, you don't like to, mingle because you are what I am the opposite.
Oh, so you just throw your ass around and then you take other people's asses and that's it. It's
What you want
okay.
me to say now? What you want me to say? I'm a young
If
guy.
you a
What you
freak,
want me to
listen,
say?
if you a freaky ass boy, then you a freaky
I
ass.
am very, you know what? In my personal capacity, I am very
Freaky.
open-minded.
Oh, okay. So you versatile.
I am very open-minded. I'm not restrictive by any sense of the word.
Damn. So how many partners you said? So hold on, you don't have a problem in this department, basically. You say that you yeah. So how many partners? How many? Be honest. Be honest. How many
You want to
partners?
know my body count? You want to know my body count?
You think you remember?
Ish. I lost count at like 30.
30. Was that last week?
Don't be like that now. Don't be like
Nah,
that.
how many?
Don't do me
Be
like
honest. Be
that.
honest. All right, be honest. Be honest. What's the average week for you? Like how many? How many?
No, I'm not so bad anymore. I'm not so bad. In my young days, in my 20s, I was very
Yeah.
bad. I was very
Tell me.
wild. I lived
Tell
in
me.
Cape Town. You know Cape Town?
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
lived in Cape Town for a little while. Hey, I had to leave that city because I was gone too wild.
Tell me how wow. What was your day? Tell me your most freakiest week you ever had. I want to know.
I can't. I'll lose my job.
Oh, damn! You diabolical. You did some freaky shit at the job.
I can't.
Hold on. Let
But
me
what
ask you
I
a
will
question.
say to you,
Let me ask
what
you a
I will
question.
say to you,
Hold on. When you was in Cape Town, was you a doctor then?
yes, I was an intern. I just started working.
I answered. You don't gotta say nothing. All right. All you gotta do is go like this. You do any freaky shit in the hospital?
Oh no.
You didn't do no
No,
little
no.
role play, Mr. Doctor.
I keep it very separate. You can't, what they say, you can't poop where you eat.
All right. But I want to know, like, so you got somebody coming over. You had somebody come over last night. Ah, he's still there. He's still there.
No. I
Ah.
don't do sleepovers. I don't do sleepovers, please.
Ooh. All right. So who's in charge? Was he in charge or was you in charge?
This is very, I don't, I, you know, one thing, if anybody knows me in the chat, right, they
Listen.
will
He was
know
in charge. We understand he was in charge.
that
Here's a hint.
I don't like to talk about this. Is a rude talk. This is a very rude.
Hey,
This is
listen,
very rude, rude
you a
talk.
freaky ass. You a freaky ass. You a freaky ass. We having grown folk conversation. Listen, he was in charge. You had some Moses and chill, and it was diabolical.
That's where the name comes from. Thank you. That is where the name comes from.
Shit. All right, cool. I ain't got no more questions. Any more questions?
What's your situation like? Because you travel the world. So if I was traveling the world, I would be pregnant every day.
You would be pregnant.
I would be impregnating, pregnant, everything.
Nah. Hold on. You was pregnant, so that means that he definitely was in charge last night. Listen. All right. Hold on. Listen. I'll tell you my situation. I'm not the type of guy to just sleep with any chick or talk to any chick, or that's not me. Like, so I'm very selective and I like high quality women that I interact with. I'm not a bottom feeder, so I only talk to certain like top tier value type of chick that got their own mentality and shit like that. So I'm okay with that. You feel me? That's just me though. Like that's me. Like
Well, you
I
have to be okay with that. You don't have a choice.
no, yeah. Personally, I don't have a choice. No, I don't have a choice. Like I don't think that every girl should be able to have me. You feel me? I'm narcissistic like that.
Okay. And that's working out for you.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
sure?
hell yeah. The girls
Then
I've been
why
talking.
are you so pressed?
What you mean press? Do you know what these words mean? You using
Yes.
AAE. All right, I don't think you know because you're using English.
You very agitated.
Agitated.
Hmm.
Tell me more about my agitation.
See, I work in mental health, right?
All right.
So I diverted from primary health to mental health.
So you're like a psychologist in a way.
No. Please don't insult me.
Oh,
I am a medical officer in psychiatry.
so you're a medical officer in psychiatry. So you deal with the
Yes, I'm not a
people.
psychologist.
All right. Well, I'm kind of
Don't
like a
degrade.
psychologist.
Don't degrade me.
Hey, I'm not degrading you.
Yeah.
I think the guy last night did. You know what I mean?
It is actually. Ah, you're naughty, you. You're naughty. Anyway, I am what they call a prescriber.
Okay.
So I got the DR in front of my name. Now, if you're a psychologist, now you don't have that.
No,
So that's the
psychologists.
only point of enemy.
Hold on.
And I
Psychologists
encounter,
Psychologists can prescribe as well. In America, they can.
not in this country, not in this country. So anyway, I come across people with, how are we gonna put this now? Issues with their sexual health, right? And they always come across the same way.
Tell me about that.
Exactly like your approach, your demeanor, your short fuse, Um, and you kind of have to peel back the layers, and then eventually you get to the core of this very unhappy, frustrated person who, in some area of their life, is not fulfilled.
Yeah.
And one of those areas might be sexually. So
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe this system that you have going might not be working out for you.
Okay. You know what, doctor? You nailed it on the head.
I don't know, and you know what? You're not paying me for this time either. And my time is very valuable. I'm not a YouTuber that can just put hours and hours of content out. My time is very valuable.
Listen to me. Listen. You nailed it on the head, doctor. I'm having problems sexually.
And you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer.
And this is how you get your victims. We see exactly how you do it. You tell them this, and the next thing you know, you throwing that ass back. I understand. Yeah. I gotcha. You get your victims like that. You don't have to suffer. I can relieve you. Yeah.
You've got a background in psychology, are you sure?
Oh, I'm pretty well versed in psychological education. So yeah, I'm pretty good.
Do you have a qualification in psychology?
Well, I have almost 1 million followers, so I think that's more of a qualification.
Do you have do you have papers? They say papers.
This is not Germany, and this is not the apartheid. We don't need papers.
You don't have a qualification in psychology. You got 1 million followers.
Yeah, that's a certified qualification.
That explains a lot. You see, now we are getting to the core of this person. Now we are peeling back the layers.
Like an onion, right?
And why there is so much insecurity.
Ooh, tell me what I'm insecure about, doctor, please.
The fact that you are very much lacking
What
in
am I
your
lacking?
life. Well, for one, you are lacking culture.
So tell me what culture am I lacking? Because I think I have one of the most successful
You
cultures.
see, the reason that your people are clinging to this ancient practice of the Zulu parade
Hold
is
on.
because fundamentally,
Hold on. I'm not from New Orleans. I don't do Zulu parades or Mardi Gras. I'm from New York City. So what culture am I lacking? Because you're Indian in South Africa, so I'm very curious on what's your culture. Because you're even though
I got a you see, the thing is, when I am stressed, when I am feeling negative, I can always fall back on my heritage.
What's your
My
heritage?
culture is very strong.
Please tell me, what is it?
I have no question about where I came from
What is
and
your
what
culture?
I represent.
What is your culture?
That is what you lack.
So I lack culture.
Is that grounding.
Hold
You
on,
are
hold on.
lost.
Hold on. So you tell me what's my culture.
You don't have one.
I don't have one. Are you
Your
let me educate
your
you.
culture,
Hold on. You said I don't have a culture, right?
your culture is an amalgamation. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Your culture is an amalgamation of different cultures.
No, it's not.
It is not original.
That's not
That
true.
is why that hat that is on your head is so important to you.
This hat is not.
It's not because of the hat. It's not because of the hat. It's because of what the hat represents to you.
What do you think this hat represents to me?
It represents something that is fundamentally lacking: culture, belonging,
All right. So hold on.
roots,
Hold
home,
on. Hold on.
identity.
Hold on. It's very interesting when I see these guys talk like this. It really shows the lack of education when it comes down to the people that they're trying to portray on a consistent daily basis.
And you see, whenever we get close to the.
Hold on. Having my monologue moment. I'm breaking the fifth to sixth wall. This is like a Deadpool movie right now. I think it's just hilarious. An Indian talking to me about culture while living in South Africa is wild to me. But they don't mention all from my perspective, like let's just break it down. Like when I think of my culture, I think of like we are the most innovative people in the world. Black Americans in general, that's our culture. We're consistently doing that. Amalgamation of all to these different things is diabolical to me. But it's very
And
interesting.
it's important for you that everybody knows this, right?
No, it's important for me to know it. But you said that we don't have no culture. You believe this, and that's diabolical to me. Because right now you're on a.
I've offended you.
Hold on.
I've offended you, and I'm sorry.
Hold on. You're on a cell phone, right? What kind of phone you got?
Yes. It's a Samsung S25 Ultra.
Do you know the technology that was for that phone was created by a black American?
And I acknowledge that. I don't
All
have
right, and
any
so
issue
when you
with
say
that.
culture, like you're holding my culture in your hand. It's called innovation.
That's not culture.
That's not. So innovation is not a culture. It's not consistent. We have a consistent culture of being the most innovative people in the world. That's not. It's
And
not.
you see, yet again, it's important for you that I know that.
No, it's not important for me. I'm asking you a question, and you keep acting. You're deflecting and deviating. Like you said, we don't have culture, and I'm
No,
like,
I'm
oh,
being very direct. I'm being very direct with
no,
you.
you're struggling to comprehend. And you said you went to school.
Yes.
You went to how many years did you go to school?
Well, what do you mean?
Like you
When
said,
you
you're a
say
doctor.
school,
Did
you
you
mean
get your
primary
doctorate?
school, high school,
Did you
postgraduate,
hold on? Do you have a
college?
doctorate? Did you get a doctorate?
Yes.
Yes. So how many years did you go to school to get your to be a doctor?
10.
So you spent 10 years in school and you're about to be 33. So what I can assume that was what you were 21 when you started?
Oh no, I did my honors first. That was, how old was I when I went to do my honors?
19.
That
Let's say
was,
19
say
to
about
19.
19. I studied for 4 years. Then I got a bachelor's with honors.
So you got a bachelor's and then you became a doctor after you got your bachelor's, correct?
Then I went to medical school.
Then you went to medical schools. Did you get your master's? Did you get a doctorate?
I got my doctorate. I didn't complete my master's.
So you skipped master's and went straight to doctorate.
No, I got an MBCHB. So it's not a PhD. It's a, how can I say? It's a MD.
Oh, so all right. So
You all call it
all
MD.
right. So all right. So and you did all of this. Do you have to pay for school?
Yes.
How much?
Yo. All together. Maybe like close to like 150K.
150K. When did you start becoming a doctor?
2023.
2023, 2024,
Oh, no,
2025.
no, no. What do you mean? When did I graduate or when did I start medical school?
When you start working.
2022.
2022. So 23, 24, 25. So about 3 years.
Hmm.
So in about 2 more years, you should be able to pay back the money that you paid for going to school, or are you still in debt?
No, I'm almost my student loans are almost paid off.
Almost paid off. And how much are you paying a month for your student loans?
Initially I was paying a lot because I wanted to bring the big amount down. So now it's like around
Five what?
5,000
5,000
rands.
rands?
Yeah.
How are you paying 5,000 rands a month and you're almost done, but you pay over $100,000 in student loans?
Not dollars. I don't know about dollars. I'm talking about rands.
Rands. Okay. So how long do you think you'll finish paying all that off?
Maybe in the next 2 years.
2 years? And you're in residency right now?
No, we don't have this. Our medical training system is very different to yours.
Oh, so you can be fired and quit at any time or something? What's going on? It's like it's high work for hire, work for hire, employed, self-employed, right? Something like that, right?
No, I work for the government.
Oh, so you a federal agent?
I'm a medical officer for the Department of Health.
Damn. Oh, so you a big dog?
No, I'm a very small dog, actually. I'm a very, very small dog.
You're Chihuahua.
Basically, yeah.
I can tell. Chihuahuas are small.
My superior, my boss, my consultant is the big dog.
He making the big
Yeah.
money.
She.
Ooh. All right, I respect that. So you make about $20,000 a year, and you're having a great time in South Africa. You are a doctor. You meet tons of guys, girls, and transsexuals throughout the week, and that lets you freak. You're sexually pleased. You're mentally alleviated, and you are a doctor that's here to help anybody who needs to be helped. And you believe that Black Americans are roaches, and we shoplift for expensive skincare products, and we
No,
have,
I said I was joking. I told you I was joking about that.
I don't know, that's a crazy joke, but
I'm joking. I'm joking. I said, South Africa, our humor is very, very different. It's very different.
I don't think it's very different because some of you guys in South Africa, you should speak to the Africans over there. They're upset because they heard the term African booty scratching. I don't think they have a humor.
That's very offensive. That is very offensive.
It is.
Yes.
Do you scratch your butt?
Who doesn't?
So why is it offensive?
Because of the connotation
What's the connotation?
that when you say African booty scratcher, you are implying that that person is uneducated and backward.
Yeah.
Do you know what connotation is?
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying. I
The
agree.
words behind the words.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
Microaggressions. I understand what you're saying. So how is it very disrespectful?
Because of the connotation. Like
Yes.
if I call you a cotton picker, right? You don't go and pick cotton, right? But the connotation of that term is offensive.
Yeah, but the problem is that like a lot of you Africans are so ill-informed and uneducated that y'all don't realize that the term African booty scratcher was said to Black Americans to disassociate them from being actually from America and call them lazy.
So
Yeah.
then why would you use those words?
No one uses those words. That's lame as hell.
So why are we talking about it?
That's what these Africans keep saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
see?
okay.
And it's the same thing like this is
Okay.
great.
And that has offended you.
No, it has not offended me. And this is what I'm saying. This is the same thing like the Zulu parade. The video she made has nothing to do with New Orleans in the Zulu parade or Mardi Gras. It has nothing to do with that. So
Okay,
this is another
but that video was made in retaliation.
It doesn't
Was it the
matter.
right thing to do?
She didn't retaliate.
Probably not.
She did not retaliate against the people. She retaliated against a whole nother group of people.
Okay. When Zulu people from South Africa said that that parade is offensive, the response to that was degrading. Much like the people in your chat.
Listen, I am not from New Orleans, so I don't care about your beef.
Okay, but you can't keep saying not us, not us.
It's not us. Like I said, you're not understanding. She did not make a video responding to New Orleans people or the people in Mardi Gras. She made a video responding to other people in the other group of people. It's like me sitting down and saying, "Oh, I have a problem with Nigeria," and then I say, "Nigeria, you guys are stupid because you guys went through apartheid." You're not gonna get upset. Nigerians are not gonna get upset about that, but you will from South Africa will. They'll get upset. Like, why would you say that?
I'm not fully understanding the connection.
The connection is she did not attack New Orleans. She attacked a whole other group of people that had nothing to do with New Orleans.
So you're saying they are doing that, not us.
Exactly. Yes.
But you're not listening to the message behind that parade is offensive.
Don't care about your beef. It is not our problem. Fuck.
Who's our?
I'm from New York City. I don't give a fuck about what New Orleans is doing, and I don't give a fuck about what South Africa is doing. But what she posted has nothing to do with me, and I don't need to give a fuck about what any of y'all shits is doing. But she posted some shit.
You don't have to use vulgarities. I'm not swearing.
This is not vulgarities. I'm from New York. This is how we talk. We have different cultures. As I'm saying.
Y'all are uncouth.
What?
Y'all are uncouth.
What is that?
Y'all got no way of speaking. Y'all got no culture. You see, respect in South Africa is a big deal.
Whoa, now this particular situation had to be one of the most intense situations I've been in. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. At the beginning of this video, he actually called me a cotton picker.
Like if I call you a cotton picker.
And you can see the exhilaration in his life, in his days, as he was sitting there calling me a cotton picker to a Black American. Like, out of all the terminologies you could have used, the man used cotton picker. And I just felt utterly disrespected. And I felt like, you know what? I'm going to play the long game in this. Got him to open up and even express himself. It got to a point where I actually thought the guy was trying to hit on me as he was talking about the crisis of HIV and AIDS throughout South Africa, being derogatory and undermining and just blatantly just saying the most diabolical stuff. The fact that he knows that in South Africa, the HIV rate and the AIDS rate is diabolically peak right now, and he's still going out and saying, in my 20s I was doing all of this and being a wild boy, and he still had somebody come over last night and get in his guts. And even it's not the first time I've had a conversation with somebody from South Africa who acts like these conversations are so normal. Because in America, when people say HIV and AIDS, we like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, it's something that we're kind of scary and nervous of. But for them, it's kind of like a normal way of living. So now when I see people on social media and I see this iconic South African logo, it automatically thinks that they are possibly, not all of them, but can we say that when I see that logo, it makes me think that they're coming from a country with a high rate of HIV, actually the highest rate of HIV and AIDS in the world. How does this make you feel? And did you know this at this particular time? It's very interesting how everyone wants to talk about the diabolical history of Black America, but no one really wants to talk about the current situation in South Africa. But what are your thoughts on that? My name's AdonisCrashBoom. I'm not trying to be diabolical. Was this informative to you? And if you made it this far into the video, please comment in the chat. If you have nothing you want to say, nothing to comment, find the cure. My name's AdonisCrashBoom. You guys are watching Adonis Live. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Don't forget, please don't only see me one way. And it's a movie.